Alright, Subpart O, gas transmission pipeline integrity management. Subpart 192901. What do the regulations of the subpart cover? The subpart prescribe the minimum requirements of the integrity management program. Any of the gas transmission pipeline covered under this part for the gas transmission pipeline construction in plastic only the requirements of 192, 917, 921, 935, and 937 apply. What do the definitions apply to the subpart? The following definitions apply with the subpart. The subpart assessment. The use of the testing technology allowed for the subpart of the certain condition of the covered pipeline segment. The confirmatory direct assistance in the integrity assessment method use more than focused application of the principle for the technique of the direct assessment to identify the internal external corrosion in covered transmission pipeline segment. A covered segment of the covered pipeline segment means the segment of the transmission pipeline located within the high consequent area of the terms of gas transmission are defined as statute 192.3. Direct assessment integrity assessment method utilize the process to evaluate the certain threats for the external corrosion, internal corrosion, stress corrosion, and cracking. To cover the pipeline segment of integrity, the process includes the gathering and integration of the risk factor data and direct examination analysis identified by the area of the suspected corrosion, direct examination of the pipeline in these areas, the post-assessment evaluation, high consequence of the area established by one of the methods described below, paragraphs 1 2 of the file. An area defined in Class 3 location under the 1925, a Class 4 location under 1925, or any other Class 1, Class 2 location where potential impact of the radius greater than 600 feet and an area within 2 potential impact circle contained within 20 more buildings and 10 for the human occupancy. Any area with the Class 1, Class 2 location potential impact circles and contains identified site. The area with the potential impact circle contains 20 more buildings and 10 for the human occupancy unless exemption of the paragraph 4 applies. Then identified state with the potential impact with the circle and calculate with either method 1 or establish a high consequence area. The length of the high consequence area is extended actually along the length of the pipeline outermost edge of the first potential impact circle that contains any other identified site, or 20 more buildings intended for human occupancy via the outermost edge of the last continuous potential impact circle that contains either identified site or 20 more buildings intended for human occupancy. See Figure E1, EIA, and Appendix E. And identify with the high consequent area of the under paragraph 1 and 3 with the definition for the paragraph 2 of 1 with the definition for the radius potential impact circle is greater than 660 feet. The operator may be identified with a high consequent area based on prorated number of buildings intended for the human occupancy within a distance of 660 feet for the center line of the pipeline on December 17, 2006. If an operator chief the approach for the operator must prorate the number of buildings intended for the human occupancy based on the ratio of an area with a radius of 660 feet to the area of the potential impact. The prorated number of the buildings intended for the human occupancy is equal to 266 feet or 200 meter potential impact radius in feet. The identified site means the following areas: outside area of the open structure occupied by 20 or more persons at least 50 days of the 12 months of the period. The days need not to be consecutive exclusively include and not limited to beaches, playground, recreational facility, the camping grounds, outdoor theaters, stadiums, recreational areas near the body of the water, areas outside of the rural building, of the, such as a religious facility or building that is occupied with 20 or more persons at least 5 days a week for 10 weeks, and any of the 12-month period with a day of the week need not to consequently be consecutive. Examples include but are not limited to religious facilities, office building, common centers, community centers, general stores, 4-H facilities, and roller skate rinks. The facility occupied with a person who confined with impaired mobility would be difficult to excavate. Examples include but are not limited to the hospital, prison, schools, daycare facilities, retirement facilities, assisted living facilities, potential impact facility, impact circle. The circle radius equal to the potential impact radius. Potential impact radius means the radius of the circle, which with a potential failure of the pipeline could have significant impact on the people or property of the potential interest. Potential impact radius is determined with the formula of the radius times 0.69, the square root of the P times D times 2, where the R is the radius of the circle area, the feet with the surrounding the point of failure. P is the maximum allowable pressure in the pipeline segment of the pounds per square inch, and D is the nominal diameter of the pipeline in inches. Remediation is a repair of the mitigation activity. The operator checks the covered segment line and limit to reduce the probability of any undesired event occurring of expected consequence from the event. 192905. How does the operator identify with a high consequent area to determine the segment of the operator transmission pipeline segment uncovered by the subpart? The operator must identify the high consequent area. The operator must be having method 1 and 2 with the definition of the 192903. To identify with the high consequent area, operator may apply with the method the entire pipeline system or an operator may apply one method to an individual portion of the pipeline. Any operator must describe the integrity of the management program with which developed and applying with each of the portion or operator of the pipeline segment. Pipeline safety description include the potential impact rate of the utilized to establish the high consequent area. See Appendix EI for the guidance for the identified high consequent area. B1, identified site. The operator must identify the identified site for the purpose of the subpart from the information that the operator has attained with the routine operation maintenance of activities from the public official with the state and emergency of planning responsible to indicate to the operator that they no location for the meet with the identified site of the site of the criteria for the public official can include the official of the local emergency planning commission relevant to the national Native American tribal official of the if the public official with the safety emergency response planning of the response plan informed that the operator does not have the information identified with the identified site of the operator must use one of the following sequence of the appropriate to identify the site's visual marking the site license, the register with the federal, state, local government agency. The site is then on a list of according to and including to on the internet website of the map maintained available to the federal, state, local government agencies available to the general public. Newly identified areas for the operator information for the area around the pipeline segment not previously identified for the high consequent area of site could satisfy any of the definitions. 192.903, the operator must complete with the evaluation using method 1 and 2 of the segment to determine to meet with the definition for the high consequent area of the must be incorporated with the operator's baseline assessment plan with the high consequent area within 1 year of the day of the area to define. 192.907, what must the operator do to implement this part? Generally no later than December 17, 2004, the operator for the covered pipeline segment must develop and file with a written integrity management program that contains all the elements described in 192.911, and if then that all address the risk for each of the covered with the transmission pipeline segment. Initially, integrity management program must consider the minimum framework for that describe the process of implementing each program element and how the relevant decision will be made and by whom the timeline of the completion of the work to implement the program element and how information gained with experience will continuously incorporate into the program. The framework will evolve with a more detailed and or comprehensive program. The operator must make continual improvement to the program implementation standard to carry out with the subpart, and the operator must follow the requirements for the subpart with the ASME ANSI B31A with the incorporated reference of 192.7 with the independent where specified the operator may follow the equivalent standards of practices only when the operator demonstrates the alternative standard for the practice provided with the equivalent level of safety of the public and property in the event of the conflict between the subpart of the ASME ANSI B31A with the requirements of the subpart 192.909. How can an operator train with the integrity management program? Generally, an operator of the document any of the chain with the program with the reach for the chain before implementing the chain. The operator notification. Operator must be notified of the operation, patrol, and safety in quarter 192.949 with any change of the program that is substantially affected the program's implementation or may be significantly modified the program schedule for the carrying out of the program elements. The operator must notify the state local pipeline safety authority with either covered segment is located within the state of the operational pipeline safety as an interstate agent agreement with the interstate covering the segment that is regulated by the state. Any operator must provide with the notification within 30 days of the adopted type of change of this program. 192.911. What are the elements of the integrity management program? Operator initial integrity management program begins with the framework with the 192.907 involved with more detail with the comprehensive integrity management program as the information is gained and incorporated into the program. The operator must make the continual improvements if the initial program framework subsequent program must be in a minimum containing the following elements when incorporated with the reference ASME ASI B31A with incorporated by reference C 192.7 with more detailed information on listed elements. Identification of all of the high consequence area according to the 192.95 of the baseline step in the meeting with the requirements of 192.919.921. Identification of the threats each covered the pipeline segment, which must include the data integration risk assessment of the operator must use the threat identification of the risk of assessment to prioritize covered segment of the assessment 192.917 to evaluate the measure for the additional prevent the mitigate the measure for the 192.935 each for the segment. Direct assessment plan if applicable to meet with the requirements of 192.923 depending on the threat assessment 192.95. 192, 925, 927, or 929. For instance, meeting the requirements of 192, 933, remediation conditions for the during integrity of the segment, the process for the continual evaluation assessment, meeting the requirements of 192, 937, confirmatory direct assessment, meeting the requirements of 192, 931, provision, meeting the requirements of 192, 935, the mitigation for the areas, as performed around SI B31A with Section 9 with include the performance measure for the meeting of the requirement of 192.945. Record keeping provision meeting the requirements of 192.947. The management of the change of the process outlined in ASME ASI B31A Section 11. Quality assurance process outlined in ASME ASI B31A Section 12. and a communication plan that is included the elements for the ASME ASI B3187 B3188S Section 10 that includes the procedure addressing the safety concerns raised by Operational Pipeline Safety and State Local Pipeline Safety Authority with the coverage segment located within the state with the Operational Pipeline Safety has an interstate agent agreement. Procedure providing when requested electronic or other means with a copy of the operator risk analysis integrity management program operator pipeline safety state and local pipeline safety authority when covered in the segment located with the state with the operational pipeline safety has interstate agent agreement. Procedure ensure that each of the integrity assessment is being conducted with a manner with the minimum of the environmental safety risk. A process of identification and assessment of the newly identified high consequent areas C 192, 905, 921, 913. 192, 913. When an operator deviate the program with a certain requirements of this part, General ASME ASI B318 with incorporated with a reference of 1927 with the provide the essential feature of the performance base of the prescriptive integrity management program operated with a performance-based approach with the says the performance essential performance in paragraph B of the section may deviate with certain requirements of the subpart with the provide in paragraph C of the section. Exemptional performance operator must be able to demonstrate the exemptional performance of the integrity management program through the following actions. Deviate with the requirements set forth in paragraph C of this section, the operator must have the performance-based integrity management program that meets the exceed the performance-based requirements of ASME ASI B318S that include the minimum of the following elements: a comprehensive process of the risk analysis, or risk factor data, either the support of the program, a comprehensive data integrity management person procedure for applying lessons learned and assessment of the covered pipeline segment to the pipeline segment that's not covered by the subpart. Procedure evaluating every incident included within the operator sector for the pipeline industrial applications, both the operator pipeline system and the operator integrity management program, and performance matrix for the demonstration of the program has sufficiency, effective ensuring integrity of the coverage segment by controlling the identified threats for the coverage segment. The semi-annual performance measure for the beyond with the required of the 192.945 as part of the operator performance 192Z, 192.911, and 1. The operator must submit the measure for the electronic or the other means with the semi-annual frequency operational pipeline safety in accordance with the 192.951 and analysis for the support design integrity area assessment and involve the remediation method of the use in all covered segments. In addition, these requirements for the performance based on the land or operators have to complete with at least 2 integrity assessment of each of the covered pipeline segment of the operator, including on the performance based approach, able to demonstrate with each of the assessment effectively address for the identified threats for the covered segment, remediate all anomalies identified with the more recent assessment according to the requirements of 192.933, incorporate and resolve the lesson learned with the more recent assessment for the operative data integrity integration and risk assessment. Deviation. Once the operator demonstrated that it has satisfied the requirements of paragraph B of this section, the operator made a deviate for the prescriptive requirements of ASME ASI B318S for the end of the subpart with only the following instances. The time frame for the reassessment provided in the 192.939, except for the reassessment must some of the same method is allowed for the unit of this part confirm that the direct assessment must be carried out with the intervals no longer than 17 years. For the time frame of the remediation provided in 192.933 if the operator demonstrate the time frame will not jeopardize the safety of the covered segment. In 192.915, when the knowledge and training must personnel that have to carry out the integrity management program. Supervisor professional personnel, the integrity management program must provide with each of these provide for the responsibility related to the integrity management program, possess to maintain the thorough knowledge of the integrity management program and of the elements with the supervisor responsible for the programs for the provider of the training for the person qualified with the supervisor for integrity management program has appropriate training with the experience in the area which for the person is responsible person who carries out the assessment with the assessment result. The integrity management program must provide the criteria for the qualification and personnel who conduct the integrity assessment under this part, who reviews analysis of the result of the integrity assessment evaluation, who make the decision action to be taken based on the assessments. Person responsible to provide the preventive mitigative measure for the integrity management program provided the criteria for the qualification of the person whom the advance of the preventive mitigative measure for the carry out of the subpart, including the marks of the locating of the buried structure, who directly supervise the excavation work carried out on the conjunction with the integrity assessment. Or has an operator identify the potential threat of pipeline integrity with the threat identification with the integrity program. Threat identification operator must identify to evaluate all potential threats for each of the covered pipeline segment. Potential threats or the operator must consider the include that are not limited to the threats but listed in the ASME ASI B318S incorporated with the reference 192S 7 of the section 2 of the group. The following the 4 categories of the time dependent with the threats those for the internal corrosion, external corrosion, stress corrosion, cracking, set resistant resident threats such as the fabrication, construction, defects, time, and independent threats such as the third party damage, outside force damage, and human error. Data gathering and integration and identify the evaluate potential threats for the covered pipelines when the operative must gather and integrate with existing data, information on all entire pipeline that could be relevant to the covered segment and perform the data gathering integration and an operative with the most valuable requirements of ASME ASIB 318S Section 4. At a minimum, an operative for the gather evaluate the set of the data specified in Appendix A of the ASME ASIB 318S. Consider both of those uncovered segments as similar but not covered in the segment of the path incident history, corrosion control records, continuing surveillance records, patrolling records, maintains history, internal inspection records, all other conditions special specifically each pipeline. Risk assessment. An operator must conduct the risk assessment follows the ASME ASIP 318S Section 5 with the consider the identify threats for each of the covered segment. The operator must achieve the risk assessment prior to the covered segment of the baseline continual reassessment and to determine what the additional and mitigative measures are needed. 1929-35 for the covered segment. Plastic transmission pipeline. An operator with a plastic transmission pipeline must assess the threats to each of the covered segment and use the information section 4 and 5 ASME P318S for the consider the threats unique for the integrity of the plastic pipe. Actions to address particular threat. If the operator identifies any of the following threats, for the operator must make the following action for the address threat. Third-party damage. An operator must utilize the data of the integration of the required with paragraph E of the section ASME ASIB 318S Appendix A of the 7 to determine the suspect for each of the covered segment of the third threat of the third-party damage. Operator identify the threat with the third-party damage of the operator must implement the comprehensive additional preventive measures in accordance with 1929-35 with the monitor effectiveness of preventive measures in conducting the baseline assessment under the 1929-21 the reasonable reassessment under 1929-37 the operator use the internal inspection tool for the external corrosion direct assessment. The operator must integrate the data with the assessment data related to the encroachment of the foreign line crossing the covered segment to define the potential indication of the third-party damage may exist for the covered segment. An operator must also have the perceived integrity management program addressing actions will take the response finding data integration. Alright, cycle fatigue. The operator must evaluate the cycle fatigue or other loading conditions, including the ground move with the suspension bridge condition can lead to failure with the deformation, including the dent and gap with the other defect with the covered segment. The evaluation must assume the presence of the threat in the covered segment that could be excluded by cycle fatigue. An operator must use the result of the evaluation together with the criteria used with the significance of the threat of the covered segment has been analyzed. So probably prior to the baseline assessment and reassessment manufacturer construction defects. The operator identify the threat of the manufacturer construction defects, including seam defects and covered segment. An operator must analyze the covered segment to determine the risk of the failure of these defects. Analyzed must be considered the result of the prior assessment of the covered segment. An operator may consider the manufacturer construction related defects to be stable defects if the operating pressure on the covered segment has increased over the maximum operating pressure experienced during the 5-year proceeding. Identify the high consequence area of the following chain that occurred in covered segment. The operator must prior to the covered segment as the high risk segment of the baseline assessment of the subsequent reassessment. Operating pressure increased above the maximum operating pressure experienced during the period preceding 5 years. Maximum allowable operating pressure increased the stress leading with the cycle of fatigue with increased the RW or the electrical resistant welding pipe with the covered pipeline segment contains the low frequency electro resistant welded pipe. The lap weld with the other pipe that satisfies the condition as specified in the ASME ASIB 318S Appendix 4344 and the covered non-covered segment of the pipeline segment shifted the pipe experienced steam failure. Operating pressure covered segment with increased over the maximum operating pressure experienced during the preceding 5 years. The operator must select the assessment technology. The technologies will prove the application capable of assessing the seam integrity of the seam corrosion abnormalities. Operator must prioritize the covered segment of the high risk segment of the baseline assessment subsequent reassessment. A covered corrosion. In operating identify the corrosion with the covered pipeline segment with the adversely affect the integrity of the line of the conditions specified with 1929-33. The operator must evaluate the remediate as necessary all pipeline segment with both of the covered and uncovered with similar material with the coating of the environmental characteristics. Operator must establish a schedule for the evaluating remediating as necessary for the similar segment with this consistent with the operator's established operating maintenance procedure on part 192 for testing and repair. 192.919. We must be what must be the baseline with the assessment plan with the operator must include each of the following elements written baseline assessment plan. Identification of the potential threats, each covered in pipeline segment with the information supporting threat indication. See 192.917. The method is selected the assessment integrity line with including an explanation of the why the assessment method is selected to identify threats for each of the covered segment. The integrity of the assessment method of the operator the base must be based on threat and identified to the covered segment. More than one method may be required to address all the threats of the covered pipeline segment. A schedule completing the integrity assessment with all the covered segment, including the risk factors considered in establishing assessment plus schedule. If applicable, the direct assessment plan for the meets for the requirements of 923, depending on the threat to be S 192, 925, 927, 929. A procedure to ensure the baseline assessment is being conducted in the manner of the minimized environmental safety risk. 192, 921. How does the baseline assessment be conducted? The assessment of the method operative must assess the integrity of the line that is covered and segment may apply with one or more of the following method. Bring on the threats for the covered segment in this respect, the operative must select the method of the method is be suited for the draft of the threat and identify with the covered segment at C192917. Internal inspection tool, the toolkit and tools capable of detecting corrosion any of the other threats which cover the segment is suspected. The operative must follow the ASME ASIB 318S incorporated with the reference 1927 in section 62, selecting appropriate internal inspection tools for the cover segment. A pressure for the test is conducted in accordance with Subpart J. This part of the all operator must shoot the test pressure for the specified table 3 in section 5 of the ASME ASIB 318S, justifying an extended reassessment interval in accordance with 192.939. Direct assessment to draft the external corrosion, internal corrosion, stress corrosion, cracking assessment in accordance with the requirements of 192.923 with applicable requirements specified in 192.925 and 927 and 929. Other technology that operator demonstrate can provide the equivalent understanding of the condition of the line pipe for the operator to the option must notify the office of the pipeline safety 100 days before conducting the assessment in accordance with 192.949. Operator must also notify the same local pipeline safety authority if either covered segment is located within the state of the operational petroleum safety with the interstate of the agent agreement, the interstate coverage segment of the regulated by the state. Prioritizing segment. Operator must prioritize the covered pipeline with the baseline and separately according with the risk analysis to consider the potential threats to each of the covered segment. The risk analysis must comply with the requirements of 192.917. Assessment of particular threats with the assessment method, the baseline assessment each of the covered segment. The operator must take the action required 192.917 to address the particular threats that has been identified. Time period. An operator must prioritize over the elder covered segment assessment in accordance with 192.917. 17C with the paragraph E with the section, the operator must assess at least 50% of the covered segment to begin with the highest risk segment by December 17, 2007. Operator must complete with the baseline assessment of all the covered segments of the December 17, 2012. Prior assessment. Operator may review the prior integrity assessment of the conduct of the forward and December 17, 2012 baseline for the covered segment of the integrity assessment. Means the baseline requirements are part of the subsequent remedial actions taken to address the condition listed in 192.933 have been carried out in addition with the operator even the prior assessment. As to the baseline assessment, the operator may reassess the line of the pipe that covers the segment in accordance with 192.937 to 939. Newly identified areas. When an operator includes and identifies the newly high consequent area, an operator must comply with the baseline assessment with the line pipe with the newly identified high consequent area within 10 years after the date of the area is identified. Newly installed pipe. The operator must comply with the baseline assessment newly installed segment of the pipe covers and so part of the 10 years from the day of the pipe is installed. Operator may conduct the pressure test according to the paragraph A2 with the section satisfy the requirements of the baseline assessment. Plastic transmission pipe. If the threat of the analysis required 192.917D with the plastic transmission pipe to indicate with the covered segment is suspectability to fail from a cause other than third-party damage, operator must conduct the baseline assessment of the segment in accordance with the requirements of the section in 192.917. The operator must justify the use of the alternative assessment method will address the identified threats of the covered segment. 923. How the direct assessment you what the threats. General operator may view the direct assessment other than primary assessment method as a supplement of the other assessment methods allowed under this part. Operator may only view the direct assessment primary assessment method to address the identified threats for the external corrosion, internal corrosion, stress corrosion, cracking. Primary method. Operator use the direct assessment. The primary assessment method must have the plan to comply with the requirements of the section 192.925 ASME ANSI B318. As incorporated the reference 1927 section 64 for the ANACE SP 050T incorporated reference 1972 for the edge for the external corrosion EC section 192.927 the ASME ASI B318S incorporated the reference 1927 the section 64 for the appendix B for the if addressing internal corrosion section 192.929 ASME ASI B318S incorporated the reference 1927 appendix A3 if addressing the stress corrosion cracking. Supplemental method. An operator view the direct system supplemental assessment method of the applicable threat must have the plan with the file the requirements for the conformity direct assessment 192.931. 192.925. What are the requirements for the external corrosion direct assessment? The definition for the fourth step of the profit combined with the pre-assessment and indirect assessment for the direct examination post-assessment they with the threat of external corrosion to the integrity of the pipeline. General requirements. The operator view the direct assessment is the threat of external corrosion by the file with the requirements for the section ASME ASI B31.8S incorporated the reference of 1927 within the section 64 of the NASC SP0502. The incorporated reference of 1927. The operator may develop and implement the direct assessment plan with the procedure of the pre-assessment with the indirect inspection, direct examination, post-assessment, the ECDA, and detect the pipeline coding with the damage of the operator must integrate with the data from the ECDA for the other operator. Information for the data integration with the 192.917B with the available with the coverage of the third party image draft the threat required in 192.917A E1 192.917E1 pre-assessment addition with the requirements of ASME ASI B31.8S section 64 of the ANACE SP0502. The section of plan with the procedure with the pre-assessment must include the provision plan with the more than restrictive of the criteria for the conducting ECDA with the first time covered in the second, the basis of which for the operator select the two different above the complementary indirect assessment tools to assess each for the ECDA region with the operator utilize with the indirect inspection method does not discover the appendix A with the NAAC ESP0502. Operator must demonstrate the applicability validation based the equipment used for application procedure utilization data inspection method. Indirect inspection. In addition to the requirement of the ASME ASI B31S section 64 of the NAAC ESP0502, section 4 of the plans pursued with the indirect inspection, the ECDA region must include persons applying for the more restricted criteria for the conducting ECDA with the first time covered segment. Criteria identifying the document for the identifications must be considered for the excavation direct examination by minimum identification criteria with the known sensitivity assessment tool for the procedure with the using each of the tool approach with the using decreasing physical spacing and direct assessment tool reading when present with the defect with the criteria with defining urgency of the excavation direct examination each of the indication and identifying during the indirect examination criteria must specify how an operator will define the urgency excavation with the indication immediately schedule the monitoring criteria for the schedule excavation and the indication of the urgency level. Direct examination addition to the requirements of ASME ASI B31.8S section 64 NACE SP0502 section 5 of land procedure with the direct examination indication from indirect examination must include provisions applying for the more restrictive criteria when conducting ECDA first time covered for the segment of the criteria to decide whether the action should be taken and if either the corrosion defect is discovered and succeed the allowable limits see section 5522 and ACE SP0502 root and cause analysis reveal that the condition of the ECDA is not as suitable. Section 562 NACE SP0502 criteria notification procedure with any chamber that have the ECDA plan with include with the chamber effect with the severity of the classification priority direct examination time frame direct examination indication the criteria that describes how the base for the operator with reclassify reprior towards any of the provisions specified in 59 ANACE SP0502 post assessment continuing evaluation addition to the requirements of the ASME ANSI B31.8S section 6 NAACE SP0502 section 6 of the plan proceed with the post assessment of the effectiveness of the ECDA process plan include measure evaluating long-term effectiveness of ECDA in draft the external corrosion covered in segment of the criteria evaluating weather conditions discovered the direct examination indication of each of the ECDA region with indicated the need for the reassessment coverage segment of an interval less than specified 192.939 appendix D NAACE SP 052. 192.927 what are the requirements of the evening internal corrosion direct assessment definition internal corrosion direct assessment process must operate to identify the area along with the pipeline where fluid and other electrolyte include introduced during normal operation of the condition may review to decide the focus direct examination of the location covered in segments where the internal corrosion is most likely to exhibit the process identifies the potential for the internal corrosion covered the microorganism fluid with the carbon dioxide oxygen and hydrogen sulfide other contaminant present in the oxygen in the gas general requirements operator direct assessment method to do the internal corrosion for the covered pipelines over the most follow the requirements in section ASME ASI B31.8S incorporated by the reference 1 and 2 with the section 6.4 appendix B2 of the ICDA profit described in the section applied with only for the segment of the transporting nominally dry natural gas not for the segment of the electrolyte nominal present with the gas stream operating with the ICDA itself covered segment operating with the electrolyte present with the gas stream of the operator with must develop the plan with the demonstrate how will conduct the ICDA segment effectively with regard to the internal corrosion must provide with the notification accordance with the 192.921A4 the 192.937C4. The ICDA plan operated to develop the file with the ICDA plan provide with the pre-assessment identification of the ICDA region, excavation location, the detailed examination of the pipe, the excavation location, post-assessment evaluation monitoring. Pre-assessment and the pre-assessment state of the operator must gather their integrate with the data and information needed to evaluate the feasibility. ICDA cover the segment of the support with the model with the identify the location along the pipe segment. The electrolyte may accumulate identify the ICDA region that the areas where the coverage segment when liquids may potentially be entrained with the data of the information includes but not limited all data elements listed in Appendix A2 of the AFSME ANSI B318S. Information needed to support the use of the model for the operator method to identify the lower areas along with the pipeline internal corrosion most likely to occur. See paragraph of the section. The information includes, but are not limited to the location of the gas with withdrawal points for the line, the location from the low points of the covered segment, such as sags, drift, incline of the valve, the manifold, deadlights, and traps. The evaluation profile of the pipeline sufficient with the detail of the angle of the inclination calculated with all pipelines with the diameter of the pipeline range expected the gas velocity of the pipeline operating experience that does that would indicate the historic upside of the gas condition location where the upside of the has occurred with potential damaging result of the upside conditions and information covered in second when cleaning pigs that may have been used while cleaning pigs may depower with electrolytes. ICDA region identification operation plan must identify where all the ICDA regions were located. The transmission system and cover tech are located with the ICDA region extends with the location where the liquid may first enter the pipeline economic encompass for the entire area of the line along the pipeline with the internal corrosion may occur with the further elevation. ICDA region must economic encompass one or more of the covered segment. Identification process. The operator must use the model with the DRI 020057 internal corrosion direct assessment of the gas transmission pipeline methodology incorporated reference 1927 with the operator must use another model with the operator the demonstrator equivalent of one shown with the GRI 020057 the model must contain with the pipe diameter location of the gas entry line of the potential to introduce liquid location downstream of the gas withdrawal valve where the gas velocity is reduced to find the critical pipe angle with the inclination above the water film cannot be transported. Identification location with the excavation direct examination operator must plan to identify the location of internal corrosion most likely to each ICDA region location. The identification process. The operator must identify the minimum of two locations of the excavation which within each of the ICDA region within the coverage segment that must perform the direct examination of internal corrosion in each of the locations of the ultrasonic thickness of the measurement of the radiograph. Other generally accepted the measurement technique or one of the location must be in the low point. Sag with the drips valve, the manifold, dead leg trap, and with the coverage segment near the beginning with the ICDA region. The second location must be further downstream with the coverage segment near the end of the ICDA region. The corrosion exists for either location of the operator must, though with this failure, the vac of the remaining strength of the remaining fact of the accordance with 192933. As part of the operator current with the integrity assessment of either to perform the additional excavation and the coverage of each coverage segment of the ICDA region, either the alternative assessment method of allowed the support by a separate plane with a line pipe with each coverage segment of the ICDA region with the internal corrosion and avail with the potential for the internal corrosion. All pipeline segment, both covered and non-covered, in the operative pipeline system with the similar with the characteristics ICDA region containing the covered segment in which the corrosion was found with the appropriate remediated condition operator found with the accordance with 192933. Pre-host assessment evaluation monitoring. The operator plan with the provide with the evaluating effectiveness ICDA process to continue the monitoring segment covered segments where the internal corrosion has been identified. The evaluating monitoring process includes evaluation effectiveness of the ICDA, the assessment method of the addressing the internal corrosion, terminating whatever the covered segment that should be reassessed with as frequent interval for those specified in 192939. An operator must carry out the evaluation within a year of the conducting ICDA. Conducting continual monitoring each for the covered segment with internal corrosion and have identified the techniques of the Q-bound, the UPT, the ultrasound, the UT sensors, electronic probe with the periodically drawn off liquids or low points, chemically analyzed liquid in the presence of the corrosion products. An operator must pay the frequency of the monitoring of liquid analysis of the result for integrity assessment that have been conducted in accordance with the requirements of Subpart of the risk of the factors specified with the covered segment. The operator funded the evidence for the corrosion products. The covered segment the operator may take the prompt action in accordance with one of the two of the following required actions: remediate condition, operation find in accordance with 192933, conduct excavation covered in the segment located downstream from the electrolyte pipe might have the entire pipe. The assessment of the covered segment, even the integrity of the assessment method allowed within even the subpart. Other requirements of the ICDA plan must also include the criteria operator will apply with making the key decision ICDA feasible definition, ICDA region decisions, when excavation with implementing each step of the ICDA process provisions for applying restrictive strategy with the conducting ICDA for the first time, the cover the segment that becomes less stringent if the operator gains experience. And provision for the annual side for the carried out with the entire plan, which covers the segment the present, except for the application for the remediation criteria for the 192933 may be limited to covering segments 192929. What are the requirements for the direct assessment of the stress corrosion cracking? The definition of stress corrosion cracking direct assessment is the process of the assessment covered by the segment of the pressure and stress corrosion cracking primarily with the systematically gathering and analyzing the excavating data of the pipe, having similar operational characteristics, residing similar physical within environment and general requirements, all operative with the direct assessment, integrity assessment, method to address the threat of the corrosion, crack of the covered in pipeline, with the staff of the plan, they provide a minimum for data gathering integrate for the operator must provide with the system process to collect with the evaluated data for all covered segments for the identified whether the conditions of the system strategic the stress corrosion cracking or present the prior to where the covered segment of the assessment the process that must include the gathering and evaluating of the related stress corrosion cracking also the operator with the excavated during the conduct of the pipeline operation where the critical AMSA ASI B318S incorporated with the reference of 1927 with the appendix A33 with the indicated with the potential stress corrosion cracking the data included with the minimum of the data specified by the ASME ASI B318S appendix A3. Assessment method plan must be provided with the condition system stress corrosion cracking are identified with the covered segment and operated with the must set for the covered segment even the integrity assessment method is specified at ASMA ASI B318S appendix A3 to remediate with the accordance with ASMA ASI B318S appendix A3 section A3 929 192 931. Out of conformity to direct assessment can be used. The operator use the conformity direct assessment method that allows the 192 930 must have the plan with the meet for the requirements of the section 192 925 ECDA 192 927 the ICDA the threats for the operator with the main the CDA for the covered segment the conformity direct assessment for the covered segment of the damage resolve the external corrosion internal corrosion external corrosion plan the operator with the CD conformity direct assessment plan identify the external corrosion must comply with the 192 925 with the following exemptions. The procedure for the indirect examination that may always use the one of the direct examination tool suitable for the applicant for the procedure the direct examination the remediation must provide that all immediate action and indication must be excavated with the ECDA region in at least one of the high risk identification might meet the criteria for the scheduled action must be excavated in each ECDA region. Internal corrosion plan. An operator of the corrosion, the conformity direct assessment plan identify the internal corrosion must comply with 192 927 the plan, proceed with the identification, location, and the excavation may record the excavation only one with the high risk of the ICDA region. The defects requiring the near-term remedial remediation of the assessment carried out under paragraph B and C with the section review. The defect with the requirement of the remedial to with the next scheduled the assessment operator must schedule the next assessment for the NAACE SP 0502 incorporated the reference of 192.7 1 section 6263 if the defect requires immediate remediation the operator must reduce the pressure for the consider the 192.933 until the operator has completed the reassessment and you think of one of the assessment techniques allowed with the 192.937 192.933 what action must be taken with the integrity issue the general requirement the operator must take with the prompt action the direct the anomaly with the condition the operator discover the without the integrity assessment addressing over the condition the operator with the must be with the anomalies for the condition to remediate through the reduced pipeline integrity with the operator must be able to demonstrate the remediation of the condition ensure the condition unlike to pose the threat with the integrity of the pipeline to put the next assessment over the covered segment. Temporary pressure reduction. If the operator is unable to respond with the timeline and limits for the certain conditions specified within section, the operator must temporarily reduce the operating pressure for the pipeline, take other actions to ensure the safety of the covered segment. The operator must determine the temporary reduction in operating pressure required within section using ASMA ASI B31G and incorporate the reference 1927 with the pipeline reach for the confluent international PR 3805 R strength with the incorporated the reference with the 1927 by reducing the operating pressure to a level not exceeding the 80% of the level at time condition with the discover the operator must notify the PHMSA according to 192.949 with the cannot even the schedule evaluation and recommendation required for the paragraph C of the section of the cannot provide the safety of the temporary reduction of the operation pressure throughout any of their action. The operator must also notify the state pipeline safety authority of the either coverage segment located within the state where the PHMSA has an intra-state agent agreement with the intrastate coverage segment is regulated within the state, regulating that state. Long-term pressure reduction. The pressure reduction exceeded 365 days. The operator must notify the PHMSA and 192.949 explain with the reason for the remediation. The labor notice must include the technical justification to continue pressure reduction while jeopardizing the integrity of the pipeline operator. Also, must notify the state pipeline safety authority either with the coverage segment that is located within where the PHMSA interstate agent agreement with the interstate coverage segment that is regulated by the state. Discovery of the condition. The discovery of the condition occurred with the operator. The adequate information for the condition, the presence of the potential threat with the integrity of the pipeline, the condition, the presence of the potential threat with the includes but not limited to these conditions with requirement of remediation monitoring listed in paragraph AD 133 section. Operator must comply with no more later than 180 days after the integrity assessment obtained with sufficient information about the condition. The determination left for the operator to demonstrate that the 180-day appears impractical. Schedule for the evaluation remediation. The operator must complete with the remediation condition according with the schedule prioritization condition evaluation remediation left with the special requirement for the remediation certain the condition applied with the provided in paragraph D of the section. Operator is filed with the schedule in ASME ASI B318S incorporated with the reference 1927 in section 7 figure 4. If the operator cannot meet with the schedule at the beginning of the condition, the operator must explain with the reason for the cannot meet with the schedule, how the change of the schedule that will not protect the public safety. A special requirement of the schedule in remediation immediate repair condition, the operator will evaluate the remediation schedule with the means to file with the ASME ASI B318X A section 7. The provide with immediate repair condition of the maintain safety, and operator must temporarily reduce the operating pressure in accordance with the paragraph A of the section shut down of the pipeline until operator complete with the repair of these conditions. Operator must treat the following conditions as immediate repair conditions. Calculation remaining strength of the pipe show for the predicted failure pressure less than or equal to the 1.1 times the maximum allowable operating pressure for the location that abnormally suitable remaining strength of the calculation method of the UV ASMI ASI B31G the incorporated reference 1927 the BRCI BR3805 R strength the incorporated reference of B1927 the alternative the equivalent method of the remaining strength calculation. Our down for the indication of the metal loose cracking in the stress drive the indication anomaly within judgment of the person designated the operator with assessment requires immediate action. 1 year conditions. Some of the conditions paragraph D1 through D3 of the section operated with the remedial any with the found with the 1 year of the discovery of the condition was moved down located between the 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock position upper to 2/3 of the pipe with the depth of the greater than 6% of the pipe diameter greater than 5 hundredths of the 5 hundredths of the depth of the pipeline diameter of the nominal pipe size within the deep depth greater than 2% pipeline diameter the inch of the depth of the pipeline diameter less than PS12 the effect of the pipeline curvature of the girth well with the longitudinal seam well. Alright, a monitoring condition. The operator does not have the schedule of the following condition remediation must the record with the condition of the during the subsequent risk assessment and integrity assessment for any of the changes that may require remediation. Then with the depth of the grave within 6% with the minimum depth of the grave within 500 of the depth of the pipeline diameter left in NPS 12 located between the 4 o'clock position and 8 o'clock position by 1/3 of the pipe. Located between the 8 o'clock and the 4 o'clock position up at the 2/3 of the pipe, the depth of the greater than 6% of the pipeline diameter greater than 500 of the depth of the pipeline less than the pipe size in the NPS 12. The engineer and now with the temperature of the critical strain loft is not exceeded. Then with the depth greater than 2% of the pipeline diameter of 250,000 of the inch depth of the pipeline great diameter of less than 9 NPS 12. The effect of the long pipe with the curvature of the girth well with the longitudinal seam with the engineering analysis of the depth of the girth and seam well to demonstrate the critical strain levels are not exceeded. The analysis must consider the welded properties. Alright, 192.935. Additional preservative mitigated measure must be applied with the take of the general requirements operator take additional measure for the beyond those already will require for the part 192 to prevent the pipeline failure with the mitigate with the consequent of the pipeline failure with the high consequent error. The operator must base the additional measure for the threat of the operator to identify the each for the pipeline failure with C119 192.9 for the operator with the connect with the corners of the one of the risk assessment approach with the ASME ASI B318A. So incorporated with the reference to 192.7 the section 5 of the risk analysis of the pipeline to identify the additional measure to protect the high consequent error with the enhancement public. Such as safety, the additional measure that include is not limited in some of the automatic shelf valve, the remote control valves, and some of the computerized monitoring leak detection system, replacing pipe segments and pipe heavier than wall thickness, providing additional training personnel on responsible of the procedure that conducting the drill of the local emergency response with implementing additional inspection and maintenance programs. Third-party damage outside of the force of the damage. Third-party damage operator may handle the damage prevention program required within 192.614 with this part with respect to the coverage. Minimize the consequence of the release of the relief of the third-party damage in hand with the branch with the existing damage prevention program, including minimum using qualified personnel. 192.915 with the work of the operator for the conducting that could adversely affect the integrity of the coverage segment of the marking, locating the direct supervision of the dome. The excavation work, collecting the essential data of the interface of the location, specifically the excavation data of the segment of the transmission system, the root, the cause analysis, support, identification, targeted additional preventive, mitigated measures, high consequence. Error of the information must include the recognized damage of the not required reported as an incident under Part 191. Participation in one of the calls location were covered in some of the monitoring excavation for the connect for the coverage pipelines over the pipeline. The person with the operator found with the physical evidence encroachment involved with the excavation where the operator did not monitor. The coverage segment the operator must see if that has excavation near the encroachment of the connection above the ground survey. The method of NAAC OSP0502 the incorporated reference 192.7 the operative must excavate the remediated and ASI ASME B38 192.933 any indication. Coding holidays and discontinuity warning direct examination. Outside forces damage operator to determine the outside of the fourth earth movement flood over the unstable suspension barrier of the integrity of the covered segment. The operator must take the measure for the minimum of the consequent covered segment of the outside force damage. The measure include but are not limited to agree with the frequency of the arrow foot other method of control with the additional external protection and reducing external corrosion, external stress of the relocating line. Automatic shut-off valve with the remote control valve. The operator based on the risk of the analysis of the automatic shut-off valve, the risk control remote control valves would be efficiently with the adding protection with the high consequent air with the event with the gas relief. The operator must install the automatic shut-off valve, the remote control valve, making the determination that the operator must leave to consider the following factors: swiftness and leaking detection pipe of the shutting down capability, type of gas being transported, operator pressure, the rate with the potential relief, the pipeline profile with the potential of the ignition location from the nearest response personnel. Pipeline operating below 30% of the system measured yield the strength of the operator with the transmission pipeline operating below 30% of the shielded metal system measurement yielded pipe system measuring yielded strength located with a high consequent air with the must follow with the requirements of paragraph D1 through D2 with the section operator with the transmission pipeline with operating below 30% of the system measured yielded strength located in class 3, 4 of the area but not higher enough for the consequent or most of the requirements of paragraph D1, D2 with the D3 of this section. Apply with the quantity of the paragraph of the DB1, BP13 with the section of the pipeline. Each minor excavation of the pipeline conduct with the patrol required 192.705 the pipeline by monthly intervals. Operator find the identification of the unreported construction activity. The operator must conduct the following investigation to determine if the mechanical damage occurred. Perform semi-annual leak survey with the quarterly with the unprotected pipeline with cathodically protected pipe while the external electrically survey are impractical. Plastic transmission pipe operator with the plastic transmission pipe must apply with the requirements of the B1, B13, B14 with the section covered in segments of the pipeline. 192.937 with the continual process of the evaluation assignment of the maintain the pipelines of integrity generally after complete with the baseline integrity with the assessment with the cover check when the operator must continue with the assess the pipeline pipe with the segment of the interval specified in 192.939 periodically evaluate with the integrity E for the covered pipeline check with the provided paragraph D with the section the operator must relieve the coverage check when the width of the prior assessment is credited with the base under 192.921 by no later date than December 17, 2009. Operator must reset the coverage segment of which for the baseline something is conducted during the baseline period as specified with 192.921D. No later than 17 years after the baseline assessment of the coverage segment of the left the evaluation on paragraph B of the section indicates early reassessment. Evaluation an operative must conduct with the periodic evaluation, particularly as needed to ensure the integrity of each of the coverage segment. Periodic evaluation must be based on data integration from the risk assessment of the entire pipeline specified in 192.917. The plastic transmission pipe with the periodic evaluation based on threat analysis specified in 192.917. For all the transmission pipeline, the evaluation must consider the past and present integrity of the assessment result of the data integration risk assessment information 192.917. Decision for the remediation 192.933. Additional preventive mitigation. The action of the 192.935 of the operator must achieve the result of the evaluation, identify the threat specification for the coverage segment of the risk of the repetition of these threats. Seventh method in conducting integrity reassessment, the operator must assess the integrity of the line with the coverage segment of any of the following methods appropriate for the threats covered in segment of suspect of 192.9 for the team of the conformity direct assessment under the conditions specified in 192.931. Internal inspection tool of the tools capable of directing corrosion and other threats for the coverage segment of the suspect. The operator must follow the ASME ASI B31. S according to the breath of 192.7 section 62, selecting appropriate internal inspection tool for the covered segment. Pressure test conducted in accordance with the Subpart J for the Subpart. All operator must test the pressure for the specified table 3 of section 5 of the ASME ASI B31.8S. Justify extended reassessment interval in accordance with 192.939. Direct assessment of the direct threats for the external corrosion, internal corrosion, stress corrosion. Correctly, the operator must conduct the direct assessment in accordance with the requirements of the list within 192.923, with the applicable requirements specified in 192.925. 927 and 929. Other technology for the operative demonstration that can provide the equivalent understanding of the condition line pipe, the operator everything the option of the must know for the opposite of the pipeline safety. 188 conducting of the assessment of the corners for the L192.949 of the operator must offer the notify the local pipeline safety authority with the coverage segment of the located the state of the office of pipeline safety. The interstate agreement agent agreement with the interest coverage segment of the regulated by the state conformatory with the direct assessment when you the coverage segment. The schedule of the reassessment of the period longer than 70 years and operating with the reassessment method must comply with the statute 192.931. 192.939. What is required reasonable as a reassessment interval? The operator must comply with the following requirements of the reassessment interval. The operator with the coverage pipe segment of the pipeline operating above 30% of the system measured yielded strength. Operator must extend with the reassessment interval of each for the covered segment operating above 30% of the system measured yield. The strength in accordance with requirements within this section. Maximal reassessment interval with the allowable reassessment method in 7 years operated established reassessment interval with the greater than 7 year for the operator must within 7-year period conduct the conformity directed assessment over the coverage segment with the conduct of the following reassessment over the interval of the operator established reassessment carried out with the conformity directed assessment must be done with 192.931 with the table of the section set forth the maximal allowed reassessment intervals. Pressure test internal inspection of the equivalent technology operated with the pressure testing internal inspection for the assessment method established for the reassessment interval of the covered pipeline segment. By basing the interval of the identified threads for the covered segment 192.915 on analysis of the result of the last integrity assessment from the data integration risk assessment required in 192.915. The interval specifying the different stress level of the pipeline operating are above the 30% of the system measured yielded in the ASMI B3187, incorporated the reference 192.7 into section 5 of the table 3. The external corrosion direct assessment. The operator with external corrosion direct assessment of the requirements of the subpart must determine the reassessment of the intervals according to the requirements in paragraph 6263 with the NAC SB 0502 incorporated the reference 1927. And corrosion over the system stress corrosion cracking direct assessment. The operator with the internal corrosion direct assessment and the stress corrosion cracking direct assessment according to the requirements of the subpart must determine the reassessment interval in accordance with the following method. However, the reassessment interval cannot be exceeded with the direct assessment of the ASME ASI B31 and section 5 of the table 3 with direct for the largest defect with the most likely to remain the covered segment of the corrosion rate with the appropriate with the pipe soil protection conditions. If the largest remaining defect of the site with the largest defect is covered in the stress corrosion cracking in ICDA segment estimated with the reassessment interval with the half of the time of the required with the largest defect will grow to the critical size. Pipelines operating below 30% of the system measured yield strength operated with the must establish the reassessment interval each for the cover of the segment the operating with the below 30% of the system measured yield system strength. According to the requirements of the section, maximal reassessment interval to allow the reassessment method of 7 years. The operator must establish reassessment at least one of the following. Reassessment of the pressure, internal inspection of the other equivalent technology for the following requirements of A1 for the section, except with the stress level to reinforce paragraph A12. The section would be adjusted to reflect with the lower operating stress level of the established interval to more than 70 years. The operator must conduct with the 70-year interval either the conformity or the direct assessment in accordance with 192.931 low stress reassessment, including most in accordance with 192.941. Reassessment ICDA SCDCA following the requirements of paragraph A3 of the section. Reassessment of the conformity of the direct assessment in the 7-year interval in accordance with 192.931 with the reassessment one of the method listed in paragraph B1 through 33 of the section by the year of the reassessment low assessment method 7 years interval in accordance with 192.941 with the reassessment one of the methods in paragraph B3 of the B through B3 the 20-year interval following table 7 of the next reassessment interval. So refer to E2 of the item of the reassessment method is on the schedule of the transition line operating below 3%. System measured yield should keep the window down to got to make pinnacle requirements of the control output following ones in the stationary reasonable covered segment. 192.4941 have low stress reassessment. General operating with the transmission line with the operating with the 3% of the system measured yield strength following with the method reassessment for the covered segment in accordance with 192.939 method of the reassessment of the thread. External and internal corrosion, the operator must have the conductive baseline serving the covered segment in accordance with the requirements of 192.919.921. External corrosion, operator must take with one of the following actions at edge of the external corrosion and low stress covered segment. Cathodically protected pipe with the drift the thread with the external corrosion, the cathodically protected pipe with the covered segment. The operator must perform an electrically survey indirect examination tool method at least every 7 years for the covered segment. The operator must view the result. Each survey is part of the overall evaluation. Cathodic protection corrosion thread of the covered segment of the evaluation must consider a minimum leak repair when the inspection records of corrosion monitoring records exposed with piping inspection records in pipeline environment. Unprotected pipe of the cathodically protected pipe of the electrical survey and practical the electrical survey. In practice with the covered segment, the operator must conduct with a leakage survey with the required 192.706 with the monthly interval with every 18th of the month to identify the remediated access. Area with active corrosion, evaluated leaking, repair, inspection, repair, corrosion mounting records, exposed piping, inspection record for the piping, environmental, internal corrosion, direct for the thread, the internal corrosion for the covered segment for the operator must conduct a gas analysis for the covered agent for at least once each calendar year, conduct with a period of testing fluid for the remove of the segment at least each one for the year, calendar year, test for the fluid, remove each for the segment, stores the field for the may affect the covered segment. At least every 7 years, integrate the data with the analysis test required for the paragraph C1 through C2 applicable to corrosion. Leak with the incident reports and stuff for the safety related reports and repair records, patrol records, exposed pipe reports, and test records, and defining and implementing appropriate remedial actions. 192943. When the cannon operator deviate with the reassessment interval, water from the waiver for the reassessment interval limited the situation. The following limitations in for the Office of Petroleum Safety may allow the waiver of the reassessment interval required in 192939 operational Office of Petroleum Safety with the final of the waiver that would not inconsistent with the pipeline safety. Lack of the internal inspection tool. The operator with the internal inspection assessment method may be able to justify longer reassessment with the coverage with the internal inspection of the tool but not available to assessment assess the line pipe with the justified the operator must demonstrate that they cannot be obtained with the internal inspection tool with the required assessment period. The action of the operator with the take of the interim and ensure the integrity of the coverage site with the maintained products supply with the operator may be able to justify longer assessment period with the coverage site with the operator to demonstrate that they cannot be maintained local product supply with the conduct for the reassessment with the required interval. How to apply one for the condition with the specified paragraph A1 of the A2 of the section applied with the operator may seek the waiver with the required with the reassessment interval for the operator must apply waiver in accordance with the Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 601118 at least 180 before the end of the required reassessment interval within the left local product supply issues may be periodically impractical. Local product supply with issues make periodic impractical, and operator must apply with the waiver as soon as the need with the waiver becomes known. 192 and 945 the method of the operator review the management program effectiveness. General, the operator must complete the integrity management program method of measure whether the program is effective in assessing with evaluating the integrity of the cover the pipeline so within protect the high consequence of the measure must include the four overall performance measure this ref ASME ASI B31AS and incorporate the ref 1927 for the 194 the specification method that is identify the threat and specified AMSA ASI B31AS appendix A of the operator submit the four overall performance measure of the part of the annual report required 192.917 of the chapter. External corrosion direct assessment. In addition with the general requirements of the performance measure for the paragraph A section operator will you with the direct assessment assess if the external corrosion of the threat must define the monitoring measure to determine the effectiveness of the external corrosion direct assessment process. These measures must meet with the requirements of 192.925. 192.947 when the records operative with the keep the operator must maintain the use the life of the pipeline record with the demonstrate with the compliance with the requirements of the subpart with the minimum the operator must maintain following records reviewed during the inspection. Written integrity management of the program in accordance with 192.907 the documents supporting the threat indication and the risk assessment in accordance with 192.917 the written baseline assessment of the plan in accordance with 192.919 documents supporting any of the decision able to process with the implemented with each of the element baseline assessment plan. Integrity management program documents include the development of the support of the identification, calculation, amendment, modification, justification, deviation, determination made, any of the action taken and implemented, evaluation, with any of the program elements. Documents that demonstrate the person will have the required training that included the description of the training program in accordance with 192.915. The schedule required in 192.933 prior to the condition found during the assessment of the evaluation remedial, including the technical justification. The skill of the document carry out the requirements of 192.923 through 929 direct assessment. Documents carry out the requirements of 192.931 with direct and conformatory to direct assessment. Verification of the operator of the documentation notification required the support provided by the Office of Petroleum Safety where applicable to state authority which the operational Office of Petroleum Safety interest state agent of agreement and its state local pipeline safety authority regulates the covered pipeline segment within the state. 192.941. 192.949. How does the operator notify? The operator must provide the notification required for the subpart with sending notification electronic mail. On the information resource management adopt the guide sending the notification of the tenant information resource management PHMSA operational Office of Petroleum Safety East Building, 2nd floor, E22321, 1200 New Jersey Avenue, Southeast Washington, D.C. 20590. 192.951. Where does the operator file with the report? Operator must file with the report required with the subpart electronically pipeline hazard material safety administration in accordance with 191 subpart of this subchapter. Subpart B, gas distribution pipe integrity management. IM.